So this is an open-ended case study which has been given to you. I want you to think of the framework and tell me.
Okay, so I have to basically first the question is that the friend requests are decreasing. Friend accepting is decreasing by 20%.
Correct.
And I have to analyze what are the different factors why is that is decreasing.
Basically, let's say I am the business owner. I tell you, Aman, this is the problem that I'm facing. Tell me what's going on. As simple as that.
Okay. So if from the past, like
you can take 30 seconds or 1 minute to just write down, or if you want, how in structures you want to break down the problem and solve.
Okay.
You can do that and let me know. No worries.
So what is the period of change?
Last month, like month over month. Yeah.
And is there any change in the app, like in the UI of the application of the Facebook? Like for most of the people in India, people are using the Facebook, but if there is any change in the application, then they will
no, there's no change in the application. There's no change in that.
Okay.
You can ask me this during discussing the framework. You tell me, like whatever you have thought, just let me know. No worries. You can just spell out whatever you're thinking.
So if there is there any increment in the fake IDs? Like for example, if we consider a threshold, like for example, if any person is having a friends of 100, less than 100, then we can consider it as a fake ID. So if the numbers of fake IDs are increasing from that period because of the any movement or any circumstances are working on all over the world.
I mean, I don't know about that. I will just tell you that. So, like, Aman, it's fine. You tell me, how will you go about solving this? How will you approach this problem? I want to understand how you're thinking.
First of all, I basically sorted out those points which might affect the problem, and then analyze each report based on the hypothesis testing, whether there is a no change is expected or there is a certain change in the percentage decrement. So based on that, I can do the hypothesis testing on each statement.
But what all things will you test? Like what all things will you check?
The fake ID increment from the last 1 month.
Okay.
Second is the change in the application, but there is no change in the application from the last month. Third will be people are more shifted towards the Instagram or other platforms.
Okay. So Aman, one of the problems that I see over here is you are talking about some of the points, but I'm not getting a structure. Like it's a big problem which has been given to you, but you need to break it down into smaller parts. Like that's how we do it, right? If someone has said, okay, sales are going down, we say, okay, that's a very vague statement. What can you do about it? Sales are going down. Why are the sales going down? Is it because the customers are not taking it? Is it because the salesmen are not able to sell it? Or is it because the overall economy is being hit by COVID? Right? We need to break it down into different parts, and then you go deep dive and see each of the parts. Let's do one thing. Let me tell you for this particular case how to do it. Okay. I somehow feel you don't know that. Okay. So let's say in this particular case, I told you, Aman, your acceptance has gone down by 15%. Right? So what you should do is you should break it down into, let's say, scenarios. Okay. You should you should keep like scenario number 1. Let's say the number of friend requests which are being sent have remained the same. Scenario number 2, number of friend requests which are being sent has gone down by 15% or more than that. Or scenario number 3, if the number of friend requests which are being sent has increased. So
Okay.
in scenario number 1 and scenario number 3, where the number of friend requests sent are either same or it has gone up, right? So there is a problem which needs to be directed towards acceptance of friend requests, right? In scenario number 2, where the number of friend requests sent has also gone down, so that's a different problem altogether, right? I can say that, okay, you are saying that the acceptance has gone down, but even the people are not sending friend requests. Okay, so you understand, right? So you break it down into 3 parts. Now what you should have done, okay, is, let's say I consider a scenario, like I will group scenario number 1 and 3 together, 2 separately. Cases when number of friend requests sent has either remained same or it has gone up. In this particular case, what I will do is I will try to see, I will break it down into 2 parts. One can be a customer centric view, one can be a product centric view. Customer centric view, I want to see from which region or which age group or which gender is there anything I can find from the data. Is there any particular subset of customers who are not accepting friend requests? Okay. From a product point of view, I would like to see, has there been the point that you made, right? Has there been any change in the interface? Has there been any change in the point that the notifications are coming to the customers, right? Or has there been any change in in, let's say, internet connectivity or anything of that sort from a product point of view? Okay, you would like to see if intersection of any of these factors are driving the requests which are not being accepted. Okay, for the second part, if the problem is the friend requests which are being sent, it has gone down, so it has, like, it can be because of different reasons. Point 1, either your either people are moving to different platforms, people are not spending enough time, or it can be because of the fact that the recommendations that come, right, people you might not know, is not working fine. So, like, why was I focusing a lot on the structure is because if you would have told me, Tom, this is how I think, I would have told you, okay, Aman, you know what? The number of friend requests which are being sent has actually declined. So your business problem actually changes in the step number 2. If you have given me the structure, then I would have liked you to focus more on the scenario number 2, which I said, where the friend request sent has gone down. Then, then you would have come up with the different reasons what might have instigated this particular behavior. Is it moving to Instagram, or is it the recommendation, or is it something else? Then I would have told you, Aman, this is because of we see that the recommendation which are being used to send friend requests, I think there is a problem here. How will you tackle this? So then what you would have done is, okay, in order to solve this, what all hypothesis can I test? Can I check the screen time? Can I check, the out of how many people who are being shown, how many of them are actually being sent friend requests by my users? How many of them are getting accepted? How much time each of the user spends time on each of the profiles which are being shown? How many profiles do each of the users see? The level of details, right? So those are the things that you test and then come up with a conclusion. So whenever there is this any enhancement or any strategies which are very focused, right, which are being taken very focused at a very focused way, right, the problem statement is never the same. Problem statement is something very broad, and from there on you trickle down and then come up with something which you would have never thought. Okay, so this is the structure that you should follow, right, in any case study. So whenever there is a case study which is being given to you, think of the broader problem statement. First, you think how like you should, like whenever a case study is given to you, you should first thing which you should do is you should say, can I take a couple of minutes to write down my thoughts? Okay. You take 2 minutes from the interviewer, no one says no. No one ever will say no. Like obviously you take. You then think what was the broad structure? Is it this? If this is the case, this will happen. If this is the case, this will happen. And this is the case, this will happen. If this happens, what can happen next? If this happens, what can happen next? And then you are right. Okay, Tom, I have a structure. I need some clarifying. I have some clarifying questions. Can you please help? Then you start with the structure, then I hear out. So interviewer doesn't want a final solution from you, right? You don't have the data, you don't have anything. What I want from you is the clarity of thoughts. How will you be able to break down a business problem to an analytical problem and then solve it? That's what I want from you, right? So okay, so fair enough, no worries. I think you're doing pretty good. I'm very happy with the progress that you have made. So I think there are few things on the modeling front that needs to be covered. Right. One is some of the model validation techniques. Okay. How models are validated, how models are checked. Some I think other than that, whatever you have written in your CV, that's all right. I want you to. I think you have not written in tree-based algorithm, right?
Decision
Just
tree,
written decision tree.
So are these case are also asked in the HLBC interview?
Yes, they will be asked. They will be asked. Like let's say those were not very difficult cases. I mean, those will be banking cases in terms of. I will give you a scenario where I tell you that okay, my credit card sales are going now, or who are the customers whom you will sell credit card, right? So it can be let's do one thing. Let me ask you something of similar sort in the next interview. I don't want to give you the answer. I want you to think, like prepare some cases. Okay. I think that's a focus area now. I mean, you have covered a lot of modeling. I think I don't think you have written random forest or boosting anything of that sort, right?
Yes.
In your CV. So I want you to read a bit on the tree-based algorithms as well, because tree-based algorithms, if you're not talking about neural nets or deep learning or computer vision or NLP, then at least tree-based algorithms are something which are being tested. Okay. So I want you to read a bit on tree-based algorithm. I think that's something which I'm going to cover next in the next interview. Second is case when. In SQL, you have to solve some questions on case when, aggregation using case whens, some of the advanced level SQL questions, and the third is case. I think primary focus should be, I would say, I will rate it. Priority 1 is case, priority 2 is SQL, priority 3 is tree-based algorithm. So next in the next interview, we'll start with a case. We'll see how you progress. Good from the first interview, from the interview number 0 to 1 to 3, 1 to 2, right? I'm seeing a progress, which is very good. You have been, I did not expect you to do, so well in SQL, given the fact that you did not know about SQL. So I'm pretty impressed with that. So keep continuing the good work. I want you to focus a bit on some advanced level SQLs and some nested queries. I mean, you started with some of the nested queries. I will ask you a bit more in the next round. Next round on SQL, I will mostly cover on some of the advanced questions on case when and nested queries, and then I will go to case, and then we'll come to some tree-based questions, right? HSBC interview, don't worry about it. I mean, I will tell you more in depth. Let me forward the CV to some of my connections. And if there is a call, I will know when the call will happen and other things. I will let you know. Okay. And then we can take it forward. Like I'll give you a separate, session. No worries.
So are there any openings in the Citibank as well?
Citi, we have openings in Citi Singapore, but we cannot hire from India right now. I'm not sure about. So Citi was one of the biggest problems with Citi is Citi does not take anyone who doesn't have any relevant experience. We just go to campus. Either we hire from campus, or if you have some experience somewhere, any startup or any bank. So if you get into HSBC, I can definitely pull you in City India. Like, there's a team of mine which hires, and we have openings. But without any experience, getting into City will be very difficult. I mean, it's very important that you get into something, and then, like, even if you have 1 year of experience, and we can always say that you are a last year pass out, then you actually worked on analytics, and overall you have 2 years of experience, that can be worked out. But right now, City will be difficult for someone fresher. I will be very honest with you. But yeah, if you gain some experience, obviously City can be worked out. No worries. But I think HSBC is a company which actually gives chances to freshers. I mean, people like you who want to move into data analytics. I've seen a few.